Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Conversations in Pop Culture, and we are back in the saddle once again for another season. And I do want to remind everybody before I introduce my guest that this episode is brought to you by my friend Preston Polder's book, Palace of the Golden Princess, which offers a fun, sexy romp through a fantasy RPG setting run by women. Issue 3 is on Kickstarter right now, and it is a fun book. It is fully funded. And so if you're really into Dungeons and Dragons type comics, Sword and Sorcery type stuff, it's out there. And right now, if you actually sign up for his email list at pocketjackcomics.com, he's offering a free PDF of issue 1, so you could try before you buy it. But enough about that, because I have with me Pops Van Zant, who hasn't been on this show in a while. So welcome back, man.
It has been a minute, but we never forget about you. You know, you have a lot of interesting guests, Andrew. I mean, a lot. I mean, I don't watch every show because obviously, I mean, I run a network of 35 shows weekly. It's like not like I got a lot of time to watch other shows, but sometimes, like December on the other night, I had to watch it because she was being a little harsh though.
Yeah. She can be. She is not scared to say what she wants to say, and I thoroughly enjoyed my interview with her. But I don't want to talk about her because I want to talk about what you got going on right now. Obviously, I do want to preface this for those who don't know, because you mentioned something that you obviously run the Madness Network. And I think it is really important because you have a Kickstarter for a Roku channel. But I do think it's important that we actually, or you briefly explain what the Madness is for those who don't know what it is, because there's going to be people who see this and have no idea what you do, what you host. And I think it's relevant to what you're trying to achieve and even what's going on with the campaign.
Well, it's an evolution, okay? In a few days, we will be in our 4th anniversary month since I started doing this at all anywhere, okay? And it didn't start on YouTube. And it didn't, it's been an evolution. It started on Facebook with a group called the Comic Related Madness. And of course, the bad summer happened and everything got shut down. And my little group, I turned it into a networking and promotion group for all my friends that didn't have tables to set up anymore. It was pretty much that simple. That's how it began, okay? Emerald City went down and everybody went, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I actually texted my friend, Brian Polito, and I was like, Brian, what are you going to do? And Brian was like, man, Francesca got to the shippers before the stuff went in the building. We had them ship everything back home. We're going to have a big online show this weekend. We're going to have our own con, Brian said. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And Brian, of course, he has the following to pull that off and sell all that stuff over a weekend. I was like, but what about all my other friends? What about everybody else that I know that didn't get their stuff out the building in time or didn't get refunded for their how many people didn't get refunded for their tables that summer, dude? It was just bad. So I started doing CromCon. We started coming out here one weekend every month and one creator after another for 2.5 days. One weekend every month, and we did it for over 3 years. What's up, Chris Brown in the chat? Look, hold up. Since it's happening, we'll just do it. I get to plug my sponsor sometimes too. Chris was a sponsor of us pretty much most of the year, Laughing Rogue, and we still promote what he's doing, and hoping he's going to bring some more gaming back to the network. He has done gaming shows on the network, part of the Madness Gaming playlist. So YouTube Facebook obviously evolved into a YouTube channel. But when I started doing this, I didn't know nothing about nothing, man. I had the cheap free StreamYard with no bells and whistles. And I actually went back and looked at some of those old CromCons, man. Holy crap, I was bad. I was bad, right?
It's funny, right?
I didn't know nothing about nothing, dude. All I knew is that my friends needed a place to be seen and needed a place to show off their stuff. And I didn't know nothing about how to run StreamYard. I didn't know nothing about tech. I'd have problems and I'd be like, I don't know how to fix it. I met Phil Leon and Pete Vasquez, and they come in and started helping me run CromCon. And, basically taught me tech and stuff that I needed to know, right? And they still, they're still members of the Madness. They still hang out. We don't do CromCon right now because we're focusing on something new. Okay.
So let's actually talk about this, because obviously I've been part of CromCon, and then also just to even go talk a little bit about the network, because I think this is really important. Is that I know Lori has a show, and I know a lot of other people have a show. I don't watch every single show. Obviously, I'm busy, but I've seen Tuesday Madness, or I think it's Tuesday Madness, right? Or is it? Am I missing?
I can give you a little rundown of some of the shows we have. We have open draw, the Madness open draw stream on Sunday with Rich Parada and Doc Blaylock and a multitude of other artists just all come out and draw, okay, and crack jokes and have fun. We do the show offs. Me and a friend of mine named Texas Dave Houston lives over across the pond, and we show off comics. We show the difference sometimes between the English covers and the American covers and different, stuff like that. We just show off comics. Okay. Monday Madness, which is a show I've been doing since I started the YouTube channel 3 years ago. Rich Parada is my co-host on Monday Madness. Tuesday Morning Brew is a show I started doing, and I was like, man, I was running too thin now. I'm doing CromCon, I'm doing 3 or 4 other shows, and I was starting to run thin, and I was like, I'm going to give this one away. Lori, do you want to do the Tuesday Morning Brew? And Lori was like, yeah, she wanted to do it. And I couldn't have picked a better host for that show. She does freaking awesome, and she's obviously a very valued part of the Madness Network. But we leveled up from Facebook, obviously, to YouTube. And we started, and about 9 months ago, I started what I call my beta test for Roku, wherein I started inviting people to bring their shows.
Yeah, let's talk about this, because obviously and this is the part where we might get a little controversial, but I think it's important, is that I love Facebook. I think Facebook is an important place to be. I love social media in general, but I also am now starting to try to drive traffic off of Facebook and into YouTube and into other areas. Just because I think there's more growth on YouTube. I think that you have to drive traffic off of certain platforms, and it's not political, but I want to grow my YouTube side more. I think there is more value there. Obviously, I'm not making a leap personally to Roku, but you've made a decision to say, hey, you've tested, I guess, on YouTube, and it seems to be receptive there. And now when you go to Roku, there's, I think, more potential for advertising. There's more control. There's also, more access to other things. And so I don't know the reason why.
Yeah, well, we'll get into all that. Well, there are multiple reasons. I mean, it's really multifaceted why we're going to Roku, but we're not stopping. I'm not telling everybody you can't do YouTube anymore if you want to come be over here. I expect people are going to do stuff on YouTube and still strive toward that grind of monetization. What I'm offering them is monetization today. You don't have to wait till you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours or 10 million shorts. No restrictions. Okay. The first time somebody watches one of your shows on our Roku platform, you'll get 50% of the ad revenue generated by that show. Day one and forever after. Now, there's a lot of people are like, man, you make it free speech. You're going to let people just do whatever they want. Come on. You guys know how I run my Facebook group. There's no crap in there. There's no people. Nobody's in there arguing about, and there's people from both sides of the fence. Everybody's in there just promoting, doing their thing. There's no arguments. There's no crap. It can be done. It can be done. Okay. The divides are mostly, I want to say, propaganda. People using it to try to use it to sell. Okay. I'm a firm believer that controversy and drama drives more people away than it attracts. because there's only certain people that like blood sports in comics. It's not the customer base that likes blood sports. It's the trolls. Okay. And if you're feeding the trolls, you're not really making the money you could make or reaching your own potential with the rest of the world's customer base.
So let's actually talk about the whole Roku thing and even just driving that and actually, controlling your destiny. Because I'm a strong believer in controlling your destiny.
And
I'm
this
a
is
strong
basically what it is. I want everybody to have control of their own show. Okay. Like, okay, YouTube. Okay, when you are not monetized, or even if you're monetized, they play what, an ad every 8 minutes or some crap during your show?
I mean, not even. Honestly, you can probably set it up however you want, but they also control your money. They
I
could.
don't know if you can set it up the way you want on YouTube.
As a customer, I have seen videos where it's at the front and then it's 30 minutes in and then it's at the end. I've seen that, but I've also seen it every 12 minutes. I've also seen it a variety of things. So I'm not an expert, so I don't want to profess anything that I don't know.
I know I want to give our showrunners complete control of that. Where you place ads, when you place ads, what ads you want to place, as well as your own in-show sponsors. I don't want to take nothing away from what you can do. You see what I'm saying? I just want you to bring your content over here and put it up over here too. It's just another platform, guys. It's just another place to be seen, but it's pretty much untapped. There's not a lot over there. I think Angry Geek Show is over there. There's, there's a couple of shows, once a week shows, but we're talking about uploading content weekly, like 40, 50 shows weekly. You know how Netflix is a view on demand. Right? You pick what you want to watch, and then you can binge watch it from day one to the end. That's the way we're going to set our Roku up. If you look at our YouTube channel and you look at our playlist, there's like 40 different playlists there. That's all everybody's individual different show. And you can go to YouTube right now and binge watch all those shows. Okay.
So let's actually talk about this, because this is really interesting. Because I know you say there's no crap in your group, and I've been part of your group, and I haven't really seen many fights. I've seen disagreements on certain things every once in a while, but nothing too extraneous where somebody might say, "Hey, I think it's this," but I've found it to be quite respectful.
Yeah.
If anything, in which we don't all agree on everything, but I've never seen anything bloody, for lack of a better word. But what is this like? Because for you, obviously, you have a lot of people's shows up there. And obviously, there is a certain quality that I think that you want to have. And I know that you want to bring more shows in. And so what is that whole thing like for you? Because now, I'll be very honest, I think you've built something, or you're attempting to build something kind of nice and beautiful and necessary for the comic realm.
Yeah.
And I do think there needs to be some gatekeeping, though, because and I hate, maybe gatekeeping isn't, maybe vetting. Vetting is probably a better word. And so what is that like? Because I know there are tiers that you have saying bring your show over, but obviously, if this was my baby, I would not want to exclude anybody, but I would want to check, because
of course we're going to look and see what kind of content they have. If it's not stuff we love, then it's not really for us. You know what I mean? This is for the stuff we love. It's for hobbies and movies. And I actually broke this. I want somebody to bring a review show to the network, because I've never done that, because I'm a hype guy. Obviously, I work the other end of that spectrum, right? But now I just want to be the executive producer of a network, and I want you guys to have creative control of your own stuff. I don't want to tell you what you can't do. I don't want to tell you what sponsors you can and can't have. Look, your ad revenue, that's what's going to tell you whether or not you're being successful. That's what's going to tell you whether or not people like your show, okay, and whether or not you got something you got to change. Now, one thing I want to make very clear is there's no 3-strike shit. There's no demonetization. If the FCC or the DMCA comes to me and says, Pops, that's got to come down. I'll take that show down. I'll send you a copy of it if you don't have one, so you can put it up everywhere else or do whatever you want with it. But I'm not going to demonetize the rest of your content because you screwed up. That's you hurting your own pocket, not mine. You see what I'm saying? I think people will be smart enough to realize that you want your content to stay up there in order for you to collect ad revenue off of it, right? So you're going to know the lines you can't cross, which are illegalities, inciting violence, that kind of shit. We're not going to play. You know that. We're not going to, come on. I am all about promoting and networking. Okay, I saw an untapped audience that doesn't have this YouTube flood of comic shows.
So let's actually talk about this, because one of the things that I think
Night, Chris.
Chris is just on with me and JSR.
I see
you. It was a good, fun discussion. A lot of fun happened in that. Interesting topic, could have gone on for hours. But the whole Fables thing is neither here nor there. But that's not related to this. But this is interesting because I do want to dive into this, because you mentioned something about the 3 strikes you're out, and I do think that's becoming a problem. Where I've never had a problem on YouTube personally.
He monetized RJ because he was part of our network. And they said something about replaying content or some shit and demonetized him. Okay? No true reason. No, come on. We're supposed to be promoting this stuff, right? Doesn't YouTube want us to promote the shows and cross-promote and build? And if you don't, then we're out of here, bro. We're going somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? They don't want us to do what we do.
So to even go into that, because this almost seems like it's a necessity versus a want. That obviously YouTube doesn't want you. Facebook is becoming problematic.
Facebook is hitting all the audio. Okay, do you get that problem where they go after your audio?
They haven't gone after my audio that I'm aware of. I don't know much about this, in which I get
notifications on every single show on Facebook. Every single show, the scammers are coming after my audio so that if I don't dispute it, they can claim the ad revenue for my show.
So I haven't had one of those yet.
I've had hundreds of them.
I'm
so sick of Facebook. I'm so sick of Facebook, man. This is what I mean. The Horror Movie Club on YouTube. Brian will show a trailer, just a trailer, and he'll cut it up, and we'll be talking over it, and they'll still black the show out for 5 minutes. And it's like, why? It's a trailer that was on national TV fucking 1,000 times. Why is this an issue? We're not showing the movie. We're talking about the movie. Do you see what I'm saying? But they still slam it.
No. I completely understand.
That's what we're trying to get away from. We're trying to get away from overlords going above and beyond what's right when it comes to censorship. You see what I'm saying? It's algorithms are deciding instead of people.
I mean, you know where I stand, where I'm a free speech guy. I believe in laws. So I believe that if you are engaging in commentary, which I think is reviewing, showing a trailer, and then talking about it, I think that's commentary. I think it's social commentary. I think that it's the type of thing that should be good. Now, I can understand them saying, hey, you can't monetize this video, but we're not going to take it down. Where
I monetize, though. They black it out, and our channels aren't even monetized.
So my whole thing is that I've had, I used to do anime pals, and I used to show stuff from like Osamu Tezuka, and so I play Kimber the White Lion, and then I get a DMC strike type of thing where the video is monetized and it goes to those people, and that's fine because I'm not really worrying about that. What is it, like 5 cents a year? I don't personally care, because that's not why I put it up. I put it up more as because I wanted to just share my work with somebody. And
that's what I'm saying. When they put a big black screen up over it, we're not getting what we should be getting from our content on YouTube.
And so this is what I think is fascinating. And so obviously I do want to dive into sort of the back end side of this, because I think that's the thing that's really interesting, is that obviously I think Max DeVille is heavily involved.
Oh yeah.
And I think he works with Hart Fisher, and I set up some Roku stuff with him. And I think Lori's involved. I
There's a
think
whole bunch of people. Everybody that has a show in the network is involved, bro. Everybody. I mean, we got 40 different weekly shows. All them people are involved.
And so what is this like? Because this is very different than I think the campaign you did on Indiegogo when the last time you were on. Where
that was a book. This is not a book.
I agree. I think it's also different because I feel like you are way more organized this time around, and I say that not to be mean, not as a disrespectful thing, but you have a team in place, and running a campaign and running in with a battle plan and a very specific saying, hey, this is what we want to do, and we have the right players in the right areas to accomplish it, is very different. And that's what I think is interesting. And so what is that like? Because if you came in and said, Andrew, I want to do a Roku channel, but you didn't have anybody who knew how to do it, there's less credibility, but you obviously have some credibility coming into it. And I think that's something that's fascinating.
I went to, look, I'm a defer to those who know kind of guy first. Okay. There's no way I could have done anything that I've done the last 4 years without the right people helping me at the right time. Every evolution has been because of the people that I was surrounded with. This is no different. Okay. If you scroll down just a little bit where the team is. Oh, I guess that's up to me to scroll down, huh? Jeez, I'm smart.
I'm sorry. I'm letting you scroll. It's your campaign. I mean,
see the Madness team right here. It says a great idea is only a great idea. You surround yourself with the right people, then and only then does a great idea become a reality. Okay. This idea came about a year ago. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Max had already offered to build it for me. Okay. And I said, well, that's cool. But a year ago, we weren't ready for it. Okay. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these people on my YouTube channel, and we're going to see if they provide weekly content and if we can pull this thing off. If they can do it this year, then we know we can do it on Roku next year. It was that simple. Okay. So my YouTube channel became a beta test for what I want to build on Roku. And basically, we got 2,400 videos on my YouTube channel right now that all that stuff's getting uploaded. So we're going to be hitting Roku with content. We're not going in there with a weak trickle. We're going to splash with a cannonball. Boom. It's going to be, look at all this content that just dropped over here. Now, we also have our foot in the door because of Hart. Okay. Hart's going to be playing our ads on his Roku channel. So they're going to know we're coming before we get there. And we're going to tailor that ad to the horror fans on the American Horrors Network. We're going to tell them about Brian's Horror Movie Club. We're going to talk about the different horror comics that we represent for people over here that do these comics. We're going to get in there. We're going to have our foot in the door few months before we even launch. People going to know we're coming. They're going to know what we're bringing, and we're going to make a splash. I don't want, you know what I mean? And also, as a content creator, what do you pay for StreamYard?
I mean, I pay $240 a year.
Okay, how'd you like to? How many videos do you have? Like in back issues, back episodes?
Interview wise, probably.
I mean, you got a lot, right?
500 plus.
Okay, so instead of paying for StreamYard, you could buy in at the top level as a showrunner on our Roku network, and we upload all 500 of your videos and give you free StreamYard. You work out of our StreamYard. Okay, so you just eliminated the one payment and gave us a little bit less to be on Roku all year and have free StreamYard to do your shows with. I don't know. I know people that pay $600 for Professional Pro that could buy into this network and eliminate that payment entirely and do their show on our Roku channel.
So let's actually talk about this because this is really interesting. Just on the strategy side. So obviously, one of the things, what? Because I want to get into that too, because I think it's very, very important that obviously what you're offering on that tier alone, and in my viewpoint, is that you're getting into a network, you're getting an ability to get ad revenue, get exposed to a bigger audience, be part of a huge content drop, and then also I'm presuming that also anytime they do new content, it would be added on to that Roku position.
We are funding the Roku for the whole year of 2024. We're paying for the servers, the streamer, analytics, everything for the whole year. So when you join us, your stuff is going to be up for the whole year. Whatever you upload, whatever you send us for your weekly content or bi-weekly or however many shows you do, whatever you send us every week is going to go up. If you don't send us nothing, nothing's going to go up. It's, you know what I mean? It's entirely up to you, the content that you send us that we put up on the Roku. Okay. And it's like, you have control. At some point, we'll have a good library, a library of ads. And then you'll be able to choose the ads that you want to play on your show. You see what I'm saying? If you want ads on your show, you know, you'll be able to pick the ones that you want to play. And when you play them, before, after, during, whatever, be on you. You'll have control, basically.
So I think you mentioned this already, but I find this actually really interesting because I really like the Netflix model personally on streaming, where I don't have a problem with cable television per se. I enjoy sports, but what I enjoy about Netflix is that I can pick and choose something. So obviously, if something's on Netflix, it's on demand. And so is the Roku channel going to have, I mean, I don't know anything about Roku. I've actually never used it. So is the whole point to have, you know, a live channel going constantly with things happening, or is it to all be on demand like Netflix where somebody comes in?
It'll all be view on demand this first year. Now we have talked about if this thing takes off and we do well, we will set it up for live streaming in 25. That'll obviously cost more. We'll have to purchase different servers and different software for streaming. But if it does well in 2024, then live streaming is surely a possibility in 2025. And actual, like, you know, Hearts Channel is one movie after another, like a regular network TV channel, right?
Yeah.
Ours is going to be like Netflix because I want people to go there and get stuck. I don't want them to go there and there only be one thing to watch. I want them to go there and there be so much stuff to choose from that they get stuck trying to figure out what they want to watch. That's what I want. Because that's what happens to me when I go to Tubi or when I go to Netflix or somewhere. I'm trying to find what do I want to watch. And you're looking for the best thing, right? What's the best thing they got that I haven't seen? And you scroll, click, till you find that thing. I want that kind of content over here. Independent movies, animations, anybody who's doing live action of their comic book episodes, anything like that. We want you to bring that stuff to our Roku network. You know, now some people are like, man, I can get on Tubi for free. Yeah, and you're competing with a whole bunch of stuff on Tubi, and you'll probably be lost under there unless people are actually going looking for your thing, right? Okay, unless they actually know what to type in.
Let me ask this though about this: is this an exclusive where if you bring your content over to Roku, that it can only be, or is it in addition somewhat similar to Antarctic Press with comics where people are still doing
you can do? I don't care where else you put your stuff, man. It's your stuff. It's not my stuff.
Because that's
trying to take your stuff. Now, if you want to put exclusive stuff on the Roku channel, that's cool. You can do that. And next year, we'll probably even be able to set it up where you can put stuff behind a paywall and subscriptions and all that.
Because I asked
how well we do in the first year, right?
Because you know why I asked this, right? Because one of the things is that I've been off.
I don't like Twitch.
I've been offered contracts and people have made me offers, and there's certain contracts terrify the shit out of me, for lack of a better word, where the way I read the contract, and maybe somebody else will read it differently, is that some people, they're not trying to own my library, but they can potentially own my library the way a contract is written. And it can be very scary because, I mean, you have people who have hundreds of episodes. I have 500 plus
Yeah.
episodes, and I've been working, my ass off for almost 10 years, right? Like, and you have a lot of content too, right? And
I have 1,500 videos of my own, bro.
You can understand why I'm asking this, because it is very terrifying.
That's why I didn't like Twitch. I didn't like the way they want to sew you into not being able to make money somewhere else. And it was like, why would you do that to these guys? Why? I don't get that. Okay. Look, I don't have time. First off, like me and Max, we talk about this all the time. It's like, what are you going to do with our information? Dude, I wouldn't know what to do with your information, and damn sure wouldn't have time to go try and figure it out. I'm busy. And Max is the same way. Max is like, look, I'll build this and I'll maintenance it for the first year, but you're going to have to learn how to maintenance it for the next year because I build them. I don't maintenance them. That's what Max said. And Max has built 6 Roku channels before. He's not a rookie at this, knows what he's doing. Hart's fucking channel got like 8 million views the last 3 years. That's a lot of people looking, bro. And that's the guy that's going to help us make sure that they know we're coming. I was talking to Hart earlier today, and he said he's getting ready to. I might not be able to say that. Let's just say that Hart and I might be doing something together on the network, and leave it at that. Okay.
Let's actually talk about a little bit of that. So I enjoy Hart. I thoroughly enjoy Hart. I'm looking forward to his book coming out, the Jeffrey Dahmer book. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a fun one to read. And I thoroughly enjoy every conversation I have with Hart Fisher, because it's always enjoyable, and he's absolutely a wonderful human being. Who's been has had a tough life, for lack of a better word, unjustly, might I add. Big freedom speech warrior, I think, is a fair statement about him and how I describe him. But anyway, enough about Hart on that point. But what is that like to have that sport? Because again, when we talk about legitimacy, this is not, we're not in comics anymore. We're in media at this point, and we're in a whole different realm. Obviously, it is a comic channel, but this is comic adjacent, might be a fair word to use. And so what is that like to have somebody who does actually run a very good Roku channel, and have somebody who's built it like Max, and have people who are going to be stepping in, and obviously, and you have some serious high caliber shows on your network right now. And then potentially when people bring over some stuff as well and stick with you, I mean, Mike Barron and J.S. Earls, if they come with you, and if Chuck Dixon,
they're all in. They're all in. They're in. Chuck Dixon's in. Although everything that's on our network now is going to Roku as well. Okay, as well as some things I'm in talks with people with. Okay, I mean, I'm talking to people. It's like they have questions. Just like you have questions. Okay, I've talked to you about bringing your show to Roku. Okay. When I go on these shows, I'm pitching to the showrunner just as much as I'm pitching to the people watching. I want all you guys to bring your stuff over here. Okay. And I mean, every show I go on, I'm pitching to the showrunner. Look, I'm doing this for you guys. Let's go somewhere where YouTube doesn't decide what your possibilities are for making money in visual media. Let's go somewhere where you're in control of your show, where you can put your independent movies or animations or whatever you want in a place where that's pretty much the only competition you have is other independent movies. And like, you see what I'm saying? It's not like you go to Tubi and you're up against every major movie that's been released recently or whatever, and you're buried underneath the competition. This is new. You get in ground floor, guys. You're not buried under the competition. You are the competition. The people that come in after you are the ones that have to compete with you. Get in ground floor. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. the beta test worked. Okay. The beta test worked. I proved that people would bring me weekly content, that we could make this into a network, which we have. Our YouTube channel is not a single channel anymore. It's a freaking network. You know, there's a lot to watch there. And more goes up every single day. Okay. I ain't gonna get no love on YouTube. They're not gonna monetize me because I go outside of YouTube too much first. Okay. I'm Twitch, Twitter, I'm Facebook, I'm everywhere. They're not gonna like that. All those links are in the description of every show. They don't like that. Half of our shows are people that don't have 500 subs. They can't get monetized yet, and they're going through the grind of getting there. Okay. Why did they have to wait? They shouldn't have to wait. It's their content. Why should YouTube make money off their content for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they get monetized? Why?
I mean, I agree that it's a problem, and I also think that you know, you're solving a problem, and that's a fix. And so,
you know, I look at smaller channels and I'm like, man, these guys need to be paid for their content too.
do you also feel, and this is just my question to you, is that, I mean, look, I stopped, you know, really interviewing and trying to interview people from Marvel and DC because I don't view them as the future. And
Right?
I'll be honest, you know, I don't know if, shoot, I can't think of the show. It had Olivia Munn on it, and shoot, Attack of the Show, right, on Sci-Fi, where
Mm.
I view that as an early adapter, and then they brought it back Sci-Fi. But I feel like all of these people on YouTube are now the future. And do you feel that this is also a pivotal moment? Because the way I feel about things, and I feel 10 years ago, this would not have been a discussion. I don't even think 5 years ago, this would not have been a discussion. Because I think COVID has changed the landscape with media collectively. And
COVID and the political climate of the last election. Okay, a lot of channels got shut down. A lot of people's voices were stifled during the last election cycle. And I foresee that happening again. So I want to make sure that my friends don't fall underneath that hammer. I want to give them a place where they can still do their show, man. You know, I mean, yeah, some of them lean a little to the left, some of them lean a little bit to the right. Nobody's so extreme that I'm worried about their content. Nobody in our network is so extreme to one side or the other that I'm like, oh my God, I don't want that. I haven't encountered that yet. Okay.
do you also, yeah, because this is interesting because it's also even just you just said something, and who's to say that if they're targeting Group A that they won't target Group B at another point? I mean, obviously things. So I mean,
pendulum swings, man. We know that. The
this
pendulum
is.
swings.
I mean, you know where I stand on freedom of speech, where I believe everything should be allowed to be said, and I believe that, you know, I was going to bring us back full screen for right now, but I believe everything should be allowed to be said, whether I agree with it or not. Because if I don't allow something that I disagree to be said, who's to say what if you disagree with me that can't be said either? And so I think it is more than ever pivotal to find alternative ways to distribute. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm looking at Twitter, I'm looking at Roku, I'm looking at Rumble. Obviously, I'm looking at YouTube, I'm looking at, you know, Facebook, and I'm looking at all these different things that are popping up. And I'm saying, how do I be everywhere? Because at this point, I've never been censored, but I don't think I'm that controversial. But I understand.
It's
Yeah,
not so much you though. Okay, look, I can come out here
I'm
and
the wrong example. I understand.
I can be Pops all the time, but that one guest that you have that group doesn't like. You see what I'm saying? And then your emails start getting filled up with little tidbits of hate, right? In your inboxes. How come you had that guy in your show? That guy's a piece of shit. Blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not your dad. I'm not his dad. Okay. It's not my position to police the comic industry. Okay. It's my spot is to give people a place to speak, to talk about what they do, what their projects are, what they're, you know, that's what I provide, a platform. Okay. Like I said, if the FBI or the FCC or the DMCA sends me that email that says, Pops, that episode was bad, 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 I'll be like, okay, man, but I'm not going to demonetize that guy's whole content. I'm not going to penalize everything else good that he did because of one bad show. I'm going to take that show down. He's not going to get no ad revenue for that show. Well, that's your penalty. No ad revenue for that show because I had to take it down. Just police yourself when it comes to the law. Okay. Just when it comes to the law.
So let's actually talk about this, because when this, and hopefully it's going to get funded, and I'm rooting for you. I really am. But
you can help. You just sign your show up. That's how you help, bro. You know, and you save money. Look, you get professional StreamYard for the whole year. You know, $660 value, and you pay $225 max uploads all your stuff to Roku, and you start collecting ad revenue day one. You know,
what is this like though for you to move into a interesting position as being an executive producer, also in a lot of ways being, I mean, a founder, being a president, where, because now this is a company. I mean, now we're entering a realm from being a network to being a company. And I say a company not in the sense of corporation and like, Coca-Cola, but obviously this has to be run with you as the front leadership behind the scenes, making sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. And what is that like? Because that's a big thing, and it's kind of a cool thing, I would imagine. And I think it's kind of exciting. And so what is that like to be, the brainchild behind the whole operation, and to make sure all the parts are moving, and also finding shows to bring on and managing that and taking that over? Because now you're in the producing side. I mean, you'll be the Jeremy Boring, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I'm an executive producer now, man. I mean, if I could find somebody to take my spot on all the shows and just step into the background and do production and marketing, dude, I would be so happy. And that's not saying I wouldn't make appearances and whatnot, but to take away that weekly responsibility for 4 or 5 shows and be able to dedicate that time as well to marketing and recruiting and all the other things that I'm trying to do right now. Because just talking about the campaign ain't gonna bring people. Okay. I have to talk to you, the showrunner, right here, right now, and sell it to you, because it's your content, your fan base coming over that helps everything grow. Every time we add a new show, that's another fan base that we add to the conglomerate. Okay, it markets for everybody, because that guy that watches your show, now he comes over to Roku and he goes, oh crap, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. You see what I'm saying? It's like you bounce the fan bases off of each other.
The idea that one hand washes the other and both hands wash the face.
Dude,
and
the main thing about the Madness group, the Facebook group in the beginning, was about bouncing fan bases off each other. You guys all drop your links in this one place. Tell your fans you're doing that. The group grew. Okay. There was like 400 people when we started CromCon. There's 2,600 people in the Facebook group now. And it's just comic people, because I filter that. We don't just let any, if you join that group, I go look at your profile, and if you don't got no comic stuff on your profile, you're under post approval. Because you're probably one of them bots gonna drop one of them stupid shows, infomercial shows on my network, and I don't do that. I mean, I police my group. I will police my network the same way. It's not looking at your content and going what's good or what's bad. It's keeping the trolls, the bots, and the loons out.
No, because this is important, right? Because it's not just also on the Roku channel, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't want anybody to be trolling and make anybody in and make a bad viewer experience. And I don't know how much interaction goes on, but on YouTube that happens sometimes.
Yeah, all the time.
And it ruins a show. I mean, it's inappropriate. It's mean. And why would somebody want to do that? And it can ruin a show, and it can ruin a viewing experience. and
That's
especially
what I
live.
talk about blood sports. When I'm talking about social media blood sports, that's what it is. Trolls get in the chat. They start arguing with the people in the show, with the people in the chat. Before you know it, your guest is uncomfortable now because your chat is not responding to the content. They're responding to the trolls in the chat. You see what I'm saying? You know, you made
Yeah,
your guest uncomfortable, and is he going to want to come back if that's the kind of audience that you
or
bring?
what happens is that does another guest want to come back, or does another guest want to come, and it becomes a huge problem, and it's very uncomfortable. And I've experienced it on my show with a troll, and it made me feel uncomfortable, to be honest. And I'm the host, and
I'm not afraid to block a motherfucker, though. You see what I'm saying? I'll hit that block button in a heartbeat. I'll make them go make another account to come out and mess with me again. It takes them longer to do that than it does me to hit the block button.
that
You
is
see what I'm saying?
that is
They're
true.
investing more time in this than I am.
But this is why I think it's so important, is that obviously I don't know how much interaction occurs. I don't know if Roku is an interactive platform.
No. But your show, but if you do your show the way you always do your show, and then we upload it, you see what I'm saying? It would probably get uploaded. There won't be no chat with it. It'll just be your show being uploaded. Okay. The only chat people are going to see is the things that you highlight out of the chat. You see what I'm saying? If you click on something and you highlight it on the screen, that's the only chat they will see. So you'll also be in control of what the fans on Roku see out of your chat. I can't offer you guys a better deal. Okay, look, Max gave us a deal. None of us will ever get to Roku for this price. Ever, ever, ever. Okay, I don't care. Somebody's going to spend $5,000 to build the platform. Okay, somebody's going to have to spend that to build a platform. Now, yeah, after somebody builds that, they might offer you to come up on their cheap like we are right now. But this deal doesn't last after the campaign. Okay, if you hit Max up after the campaign and you're like, hey man, will you upload a few hundred of my videos to the Roku platform? It's going to be on Max's time and at Max's cost. Right now, he's giving us a great deal, and he put time aside to build this for us. Take advantage of it now. If you come to him later, it's going to cost 3-4 times that, because it's his time uploading all your videos. His time is not free. Okay, what he's offering us right now, he's damn near giving us his time for free. Take advantage of it. Get involved in this campaign now. Don't wait until we're doing good. Don't wait till we're doing good. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. It's still somebody's time. It's still somebody's work.
So let's actually talk about this, because this is the thing, is that obviously, I tried kickstarting a podcast and I was successful at it, but it was tough because I hate to say this, but this is a tough sell sometimes for people. Right.
This is a different campaign, man. This ain't no comic book. Although you could get 37 different PDFs on this campaign, it's not a comic book. It's for fans too, guy. It's not just for. We're not just trying to draw in the sponsors and the shows, although we are. But we have a lot of stuff for fans. If you just want to get behind what we're doing, there is a ton of stuff over there that you can just go get, and it'll help us.
One of the things, and the reason why I want to bring this up is because I think it is very complicated to explain to people, hey, you have to have a little bit of faith, and also this is an opportunity. And I think for whatever reason, there's sometimes a disconnect, because this is what I experienced. And I find what you're doing is way better than whatever I did for my show 2 years ago. And I'm not insulting myself. But
I know you were thinking about your platform. You were thinking about your show and how you could get there. And I just am doing it for a whole bunch of shows. That's all.
You're doing it at a much cleaner level than I would ever imagine. And again, it's also very different because it's more network centric, and you're doing a better job than I could imagine. So that for myself, and I say that as a compliment. But what has this been like? Because I think it's really interesting, but I think for whatever reason, I don't think it's your fault or anybody else's fault, but I think some people just don't get it. I don't think they understand that media is expensive, media opportunities are expensive, but there's also there's a cash component for you to make money on the back end. And I just think somewhere people just aren't making that connection, and it's very complicated. And I don't know if it's the comic book mentality. I don't know if people are economically just exhausted, or they're just like, I just don't. It's not that they don't believe, but they're just like, I don't know. So I'm curious how you feel, because to me, this is the problem that I had, where I got a lot of flack.
I know it's a hard sell. Okay, nobody's done this before. There's no model to follow. You know what I mean? I'm making it up as I go. Okay, so for me, it was like, okay, it's a 3-pronged attack. I want to recruit shows. So I have 4 tiers that are directed toward a showrunner and bringing their show to the network. The basis of the difference of the tiers is just how much work Max has to do. Okay, if you want to bring your show to the Roku network and upload stuff all next year, $25, and your show will be on our network. $25. You'll have StreamYard. I just saved you a whole freaking bunch of money, and we're going to upload whatever you do all year long. If you want Max to upload previous content, this is where the next levels of tiers come in. The more work he has to do, I ain't letting him do the work for free. Okay.
And it was goody.
Okay, I'm not letting him do it for free. So if you want him to upload 500 fucking videos, it's going to cost you $225. Okay, but again, you get free $600 StreamYard for the whole year. So I just saved you $400 if you pay for StreamYard Pro. And you get to be up there collecting ad revenue on Roku and being seen on Roku in front of a completely untapped audience. I don't know any other way to sell this to a showrunner. Okay, now for sponsors, we have 6 different levels of tiers. We have a 1-month video ad. We have the logos all over our promo cards. We have a 3-month ad, a 6-month ad, a full year ad, a VIP sponsorship where you can use 4 different ads throughout the year. Okay, if you got 4 different things you want to promote next year, you can get 4 different ads throughout the year, as well as pretty much anything I think of between now and then to do for sponsors. You'll already be ground floor because you're a VIP sponsor. Okay, so we have 6 different levels of sponsorship, 4 different levels of showrunners, and then all kinds of stuff that fans can get. PDF bundles. You can get the whole first trade paperback of 6 Gun Gorilla. You can get PDF bundles from Omen Comics, Revelation Comics, Committed Comics, Timothy Fling, Earth Dog Studios, whole bunch of different PDF bundles. There's 37 different PDFs available on the campaign. You can get all of them for $90. All 37 of them for $90. There's sketch cards. Yeah. There's original art. There's stuff for fans too. I just need people to go look.
So let's actually talk about the sponsor stuff, because this is one of the things that obviously I have a sponsor and I love Preston, and every once in a while I get a sponsor. But I'm not opposed to and I've used sponsors in the past and I've had good returns with it. And I think so many people in comics are looking for that. And so
if you got a Kickstarter campaign, and you want to run a month ad on the Roku channel while your campaign's live, it costs $20.
And so, because to me, that and this is my question, is that obviously, are those ads going to be interchanged throughout all of these people's campaigns, or are they permanent ads? Because my ads are permanent ads.
And no, if you buy a 1-month ad to run when your campaign's going, it'll run for the month while your campaign's going, and then it'll come down because you only paid for a month of ad, right?
Yeah. So the reason why I asked this is that obviously
that's why we have different lengths. We have 3 months, 6 month, full year.
So,
And
what would that ad actually entail? Because is it that it runs once a day, or is it
oh no,
running?
oh no, we guarantee 3 times a day. But with the amount of content that we're putting up there, it's a no-brainer. Then until we have a lot of ads, your ads are going to get shown a lot. I mean, we don't have a huge ad library yet, so the ads we have are going to get run a lot. Get an ad.
Because
They're going to get run a
this is
lot.
you understand why I'm asking, right?
Yeah,
Because from a
we have
business.
way more shows than we have ads right now, so that ain't a problem.
And I'm gonna ask them because I'm gonna ask for myself more in particular is that obviously I don't have a campaign, but
Right,
I have an eBay store, and
right.
so I'm looking at this saying, cool. What if I'm a comic shop? What if I'm an eBay store? What if I sell etched glassware? I mean, do you have a problem if it's not so
No problem.
called directly comics, but it's close enough? Like,
Anybody that sells Bender type stuff at a con, like Moto Glass, does that etched glass that you're talking about. A friend of mine works out of Phoenix. Okay. If he wants to do an ad and put it up here, that's no problem. He can even do an ad saying what cons he's going to be at. Or you see what I'm saying? The possibility. Convention runners. You can have an ad running for 6 months on Roku leading up to your convention. I mean, and if you get the VIP thing, you get to interchange those ads. You get to change them. You get to update them. You get to do what you want because you're a VIP sponsor. Okay. I will work with a VIP sponsor 100%. Anybody that really trying to help us get this funded and comes in at a high level of a showrunner or sponsor, I'm gonna work hard with you guys. Okay. We don't need a lot, but it'd be nice to have a lot. I want more shows. I want more ads. And I want the fans to get some of this cool stuff. Man, there's 5 different artists doing sketch cards. There's a Corey Barton head sketch of Kozor. There's Drunk 3PO, 2 of his signed books. Achromatic Chronicles Blue are available on the campaign. Hart Fisher, Mike Barron signed The Devil You Know Better is available on the campaign. Number 13 of 25. There's
what
stuff.
is that like to have a lot of people really even supporting you on physical stuff because they're giving you time when somebody does a
Yeah,
sketch card or when there is a book signed by somebody or and all that stuff. I think Lori, does she have some stuff up there as well?
he
Like,
has stuff up there. Look, the guys who the sketch cards, let's just go there first. Those 5 guys, okay. Rich is obviously part of the network. Doc has a show on the network. Ron recently brought a show to the network. But Dow and Christian, they just said they do it just because they believe in what we're doing. They're not part of the network. They're just trying to help us out. You know what I mean? Ginge, obviously a part of the network, offered to do a 10-page script for somebody. If you want to do an ashcan and you want an experienced writer to help you flesh out your script, Ginge will do it. $100, 10-page script. Okay. Lori will do a smash ad for you where she'll, write your name, your business name or comic name on a melon or a pumpkin or something and smash it and then send you the video to use as a promotional for your stuff. And the drawn in tier that you cannot get on Path of the Pale Rider. If you want to get drawn into Path of the Pale Rider, you can get drawn into Path of the Pale Rider through the Roku campaign. Not through her campaign. She put that exclusively on the Roku campaign. So there's 2 chances for you to be drawn into a future episode of Path of the Pale Rider on the Roku campaign. Like I said, we try to make sure that there's something there to attract everybody. Okay. There's t-shirts. The stretch goals are fun. The stretch goals are real fun. Okay. First off, we're going to have a trading card set based off the fans' choice of the 4 best sketch cards. Out of those 25, we're going to have the 4 best, and we're going to make a sketch card trading card, with all 4 of them in it. And there's a couple other ones, but one of them happens to be the first Crom Ash Can, Doc Blaylock's Crom story from the Cromniverse that didn't fund. Okay, but the first story that Doc did is going to be an Ash Can if we can get to 7,500. We have a challenge coin. And if we get to 10,000, I'm going to chop my motherfucking ponytail off and donate it to Locks for Love. I'm going to do something to me, okay, that I ain't done in a long, 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 long time. And that's cut all my hair off. So if y'all want to see what Pops looks like without hair, get this thing up to 10 grand, yo.
But isn't that supposed to be fun? And isn't that what Kickstarters are supposed to be, in which that it's supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be obviously building this? And I don't think that you're, correct me if I'm wrong, where a lot of the money that's going here is going directly to
all the bare bones, 5 grand. That's what we need to bare bones put it up and get it running.
And you probably need
extra there.
there's a little cushion, right? Like maybe a little cushion at best, right? And that's because building, I don't know, again, Max knows way more
than I do. The cushion is there might be a slight cushion because server costs fluctuate.
Things happen in life. Let's just leave it at that.
Server costs fluctuate. Like right now, they'll tell us it'd be this much, but by the first of the year, it might be a little bit more. Max figured in possibilities, but for the most part, 5 grand is what we need to get this thing up and running.
Because this is really infrastructure and developmental infrastructure versus any money. I mean, obviously, for lack of a better word, and not to get it into money, but it's a 50-50 split, which is pretty good, all things considering. I mean, 50% of the gate isn't bad, considering.
Well, I know that YouTube pays out a very small amount of the CFM that they actually make. Okay, we're gonna 50-50 that with the showrunners. We're not gonna lowball you and act like you didn't make this much money. And we know YouTube does that. I just know too many people that have been lowballed on their analytics, and you can even read it in their analytics that they got lowballed, and there's no recourse. YouTube doesn't care. You can't argue with them. They don't care. They gave you that much, $3 on the 22. Or whatever. We're not going to do that to you guys. Like you said, Max and I don't have time to play games. I'm busy building this, and once it's built, I'm going to be really busy promoting it and overseeing it, and I'm not going to have time to play games.
So let me ask a question even going beyond this. So let's say somebody picks up, 3 months of ads, and then they're doing well because obviously someone says, look, I got something going on. I don't know where I'm going to be in 3 months. I mean, is there the opportunity later on, obviously, to buy more ads and other things? Because obviously this is something that I'm interested in, right? More so than anything else is that obviously I run a business. And so I don't mind. And this is where I'm still figuring things out and deciding how I want to support it. Don't worry. I will support you. Don't worry.
I get what you're saying. As far as the ads go, that's not like uploading 500 videos. Okay. So it's not like Max has to go take 3 days out of his life to put your stuff up. Changing an ad or whatever is 20 minutes or something. It's not that big a deal. The prices for the ads will remain the prices for the ads for the whole year for the Roku. Okay. $20 for, $20 for a full month, 30-second ad. 3 times a day, we guarantee we're going to play it, but it'll probably get played more. But you know what I'm saying? It's like the ad tiers, that will be the cost for the sponsorships across the board all year. That's not going to change. Showrunner tier, like I said, when you're asking Max, you come to Max after this campaign's over and ask him to give you 3 days of his life. I hope he charges you out for it because he's giving it to you really cheap right here, right now.
Let me ask about that. So let's say that I picked up a $25 tier and I didn't know what I wanted to bring. And obviously I didn't bring anything for 6 months, but I signed up for that tier. And then say, hey Max, I want to bring over 50 videos in which I think these are my 50 best interviews, and then I want to just build off of that. Is that
halfway through the year?
Or you like halfway through the year, but I signed up at the start, or would I need to do it at the front of the year?
This is how this works. Okay, like if you come in at the $25 level, there is no previous uploads. It's just what you have going forward. Do you see what I'm saying? If you come in at the next level up, the $75 level, then you get up to 100 uploads. So no matter when you wanted to upload those 50, you'd have had to come in at
I got the tiers mixed up. So that was my question, which that, for instance, let's say, I just am, saying, cool, I want to bring my top, 50 interviews or my top 100 interviews, because I'll be honest,
the silver tier would be for you.
So you get where I'm going, because I've had some bad interviews and I don't want those to be watched.
Get you, man. Look, that's going to be the hardest part for me, is going back through and trying to figure out what's actually good enough.
There's also things that I don't feel are appropriate that I don't want to relive. No offense, but like, I'm sure you've had a few of those too, where you had a great interview, but it's not really the best thing that you put out, because this is the thing when you have a big library, and then because that's my problem. I'm bringing over 500, 600, 700 interviews, is that not every piece of my content is appropriate. And I don't want some of my content rewatched. It's fine on my YouTube channel, but I don't think it's appropriate for a network, if that makes any sense.
Right. I have to go through and look at all my shows and eliminate the ones where I responded to the trolls in the chat, or edit them. Okay, because I don't want none of that up on Roku, or we're responding to the trolls. I'm going to Roku to get away from the trolls. You see what I'm saying? Some of my shows might even be exclusively on Roku once I launch it. I mean, Monday Madness might never be on YouTube again.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'll be very honest with you. I would almost rather have an exclusive weekly interview show just on your Roku channel, and then do what I want to do on mine. Yeah. Because to me, that's the best of both worlds. And it takes huge amounts of pressure, because I don't feel like I'm like migrating everything. I feel like I still have my show. Like I can't explain it, where, so like a $25 tier might make the most sense for me, because
then you can pick what you want to do. You have time between now and the first of the year to decide what you want to do, and then implement it when the first of the year comes. You might even decide to make a whole new show just for Roku and still do what you do over there. So I want people to understand. I don't want you to not keep grinding on YouTube and not keep doing what you do. I just want to give you another platform and give you a chance to monetize.
For me, I'm a little bit different. I'm very honest about this, where for me, this is a networking opportunity, and my show is a networking opportunity that benefits my eBay business. And so for me, the last thing I ever want to do is hurt me. So I'm not looking to make money on this show. I would love to be part of your network, and for $25, and
let me tell you the other part of this. Okay, now if you go to Roku, you have to have a website. Okay, when you build a Roku network, you have to have a website. So our website is going to represent all of our shows and their storefronts. You see what I'm saying? We've already thought beyond. We're already thinking beyond, and we always are. It's like all the time I'm in Max's inbox. Hey, man, what do you think if we do this? And he'll be like, well, it's your network. It's up to you. No, that's not what I'm asking about. I help me out here. Give me some input. What do you think?
It's interesting now. Now I'm curious, because for me, it's not a secret that I'm very benefited by my show, where I get to meet people, I get to buy books from people, I get to, find people. Obviously, my whole eBay business model has changed because of my show. and who I get to meet and who I get to buy from and what I can and can't sell and what I have access to, right? And even what is the next big thing. And so obviously, is that clear on building out a storefront or even being represented? Because all of a sudden, if my picture's on your Roku website, I have a show, it's a weekly show or it's every other week, right? However I want to set it up. I don't think you care if somebody does a show every other week for whatever reason. They're just happy, right?
You do
So,
whatever you want.
so like, no. I ask these questions, and I'm asking because it sounds like a dumb question, but all of a sudden people's brains start churning.
Yeah.
When my brain starts churning, because all of a sudden I'm gonna say, look, I'm happy to do a show on Friday, but I want to do it every other Friday because I have a busy schedule, and I'll do 26 a year, and I'm happy to pay my $25, and I'm thrilled. And that's my
This
thing.
is the thing, though. This is the thing, though. You do that show whenever you want. You just send it to Max to be uploaded every Friday. You're not locked into a schedule anymore. You just have to have it up to us on once a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever, right?
Oh, no. I get that part. Is that I almost want to make it, hey, I want it to come out at 8 o'clock.
You can do that. You can do that. We'll drop it when you want it dropped. That's not
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Control, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. We want you guys to have control.
This is what I think is people not understanding and connecting and getting to that point is that, oh, now all of a sudden, if I can do a show and I'm interviewing so and so, and then I can release it, and then also, let's say I'll throw a name out there. Let's say I was interviewing Dan Parrott, and then I could bring that and I could put it on my thing, and then I could bring it right over to Friday. Hey, I want to share this with the Madness Network because I think it's a great interview of like comics and greatness, something like that. And then all of a sudden, it's a very cool position. So, like that to me is a selling point for me. Is that I can almost curate my library every single year at a $25 level, pick my best 26 of all these legend comic creators and all these top people. And then I just feel like I'd be doing a service to comics and it would just reach a wider audience, but I wouldn't lose any control.
Well, it's like this. Now, as we move into the next year, okay, if the channel's doing good and your show is paying for itself, it ain't going to cost you nothing to keep going. Okay, if your show is paying its way on the network and I don't have to go out of pocket or you don't have to go out of pocket to go again next year, you won't have to. Let the show generate the income that you need to continue on. You see what I'm saying? And again, when you have the link to your storefront on the website for the Roku channel, that's just another place people can click. And you know how much people like to click. Right?
Oh, no. I think that's also a massive selling point for anybody because I'm a strong believer, and I don't know how you feel, is that if you're in comics, you need to have a podcast. You need to have a platform, whether you're doing something twice a month, 3 times a week, whatever it is, you need to have a platform because, Twitter is not enough. Facebook's not enough. Instagram's not enough. TikTok's not enough anymore. You need to have an element where somebody can get to know who you are. I like
YouTube, man. How many comic shows are you subscribed to on YouTube, man? How many different channels? Be honest, tell me.
Maybe like 80.
I'm subscribed to 500 channels on YouTube. How many of those do you think are comic related?
I don't know. I mean,
about 480 of them.
For me,
there is so much content, comic content, so many comic shows, so many. Somewhere back in the day, somebody said everybody needs a show. You know what I mean? Nobody can watch every show. Nobody.
I can't
keep up with all that content, man. There's no way. But if I can get it all in one place, at least I can see the stuff I want to see.
Yeah, no. I don't disagree in which I actually like your idea. I mean, I like the concept. Like, I'll happily pay $25, and I'll happily just for a year.
If I add too, watch.
Yeah, I probably will. I just need to. I don't have to do my ad right now, right? I mean, the ad can be placed in somewhere in the middle of the year, right?
Well, no, you want to buy it now.
Oh no, no, I meant the placement of the ad after I
You
buy
place it whenever you want. Yeah, you decide when we play the ad, what month, but you pay for a month worth of ad. You see what I'm saying?
it. Yeah. I'm asking a dumb question for a reason. There's a logic to my thought process because A, I'm curious for me, and B, all of a sudden, I'll give an example. Somebody's running a Kickstarter in June, right? They might want to buy 3 months and start running
Yes,
their
and we
ads
got that.
in April, May, and June.
And we
And
got that. We got that 3 month ad. We got that 6 month ad. We got all. We thought this through pretty well, Andrew. I mean,
I
I
know you.
looked at it. I've been doing this as a promoter for about 4 years, and I looked at it from every aspect. Right? What would I want if I was a content creator? What would I want out of a platform? Again, what would I want as a sponsor out of a platform? Okay, what if I don't need a year worth of ads? What do I want? Okay, so I went through that whole spectrum of what would I want, and then I went, okay, but what about the fans? We're going to need the fans to make this happen too. So I started trying to find stuff that the fans would want and putting them on the campaign as well. The deal is just getting people to look at it. I don't want people to think that it's just for showrunners or just for sponsors or just for fans. It's for everybody. Everybody, man. There's something there for everybody. And if there's not something there for you, come talk to me. I'll find somebody to put that something up in this campaign for you. If there's a tier that you want as a showrunner that you don't see there, we'll talk to Max. We can add stuff to this campaign. If there's something you want that you think we can tweak that would fit you better, if you're going to back us, we'll tweak it and make it fit you better. Okay? It's all about you guys, man. It's about you guys as showrunners. It's about you guys as sponsors. It's about you guys as fans.
Oh, well, I think
I just want something to do as I'm getting old, man. Fuck.
No, you just want to be an executive producer. Let's call it what it is. We all know we're gonna call it what it is, Pops. We're gonna call it what it is.
Hey, would it be cool to get invited to some cons and be able to run around and have some fun? Yeah, down the road when I got time to do that, that's cool. I'm looking forward to stuff like that. But right now we got to build it. You got to put in the work before you reap the reward. I got 4 years behind me working at what I think this is supposed to be. I think this is it. I think this is what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to go to Roku. We're supposed to make a big splash and bring our content to a place where they don't know what's going to hit them. They're going to, they don't know. They don't know what we do over here. It's time to let them know. That's all.
And then obviously the other thing is that there's plenty of people who know how Kickstarter works. There's plenty of people who don't. I think one of the smartest things you did on this campaign was running it for 60 days. I think honestly, looking at your campaign and looking at mine, I realized the mistake I made is that I should have ran for 60 or 45. I ran for I think 30. And I think if I ran for a little bit longer, I would have had a longer runway and a longer runway. And I think that's a really important thing. I think in comic books, depending on who you are, it could be helpful or it could be detrimental. But I think that there is a position with this, given that it is a tougher sell to do 60 days.
It's like I said, it's new. Nobody's done this before. Not at this level. What I'm trying to do. Nobody's done this before. Not that nobody I know of, okay, has tried to do anything like this. I know it's a hard sell. Okay. I also knew I was going to need 60 days just to be able to get out on all the different shows that I'd want to go try to talk into coming to our network. There's a lot of people that have great content that I would love to talk into bringing their content to our network. Well, I'm going to need 60 days to make enough noise to get some of them people to hear what we're saying. It wasn't going to happen in 30 days. There was no way. It's something different. Okay. Now, for you fans, for you guys that buy PDFs, for you guys that like original arts, there's something there for you right now. Just go get it. Just go check it out. You know,
else out there. I mean, I've said this before because, and I talk about it a lot on my show. I say, look, you know, if you want independent media and you want functioning independent media, you have to support it. And it's not just watching content. It's throwing $5 buy me a coffee. It's throwing $10 here. It's the idea that, hey, if you're on somebody's show, you know, you have to know that there's expenses with shows. I mean, you know, I'm happy to pay for my StreamYard. I get a lot of value out of it, but it's still $240. I mean, there gets a point where if you want independent media, like I hear all the time people want reviews for their comics. Well, I'm like, have you supported an independent review site at all? And they're like, no, I didn't. And so I find that this is very much an independent media position of somebody saying, look, I want independent media to function and that I don't want to destroy the top 7 companies, but they're not paying attention to indie. And I think that this is sort of that opportunity. I do. And I think that there's been a massive disconnect with people in comics and understanding how media and independent media works, where it does need financial support. And I think that that's a problem. And
well, now part of that, though, is because there's so many channels. Everybody thinks, oh, anybody can do it. There's so many people doing it. Now, there are people that do it well. Don't get me wrong. There's some great channels out here. Okay. People that I can't hold a candle to. Okay. Some great channels out here. But at the same time, if you want to reach that level, it's a grind. It's a lot of work. Okay. Nobody gets 1 million subscribers by taking a break, taking a week off here, taking a break there, not doing what they're supposed to do. You know, you got to grind to get to that kind of level. Okay. Am I looking for a shortcut? No, I just don't think that YouTube and Facebook serve us well as indie creators. I don't think they serve us well at all. And that's why I want to go somewhere where you guys have control of your shows, and we'll see if I can serve you better. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can serve the indie community in this instance better than YouTube or Facebook, because I'm going to let you guys do what you do. I'm not going to let scammers lay claim to your audio. I'm not going to black your screen out because you're playing a fucking trailer. Okay? I'm not going to be your dad. The FCC and the FBI and the DMCA, them's your daddies. Okay? And if they come to Uncle Pops and say, Uncle Pops, you got to do something about that, I'm just going to take that one individual.
They're politely knock on your door. Say,
yeah,
excuse me, would you mind taking this down? We would really appreciate it.
We got Doran from White Fire Comics over there in the chat. You got to acknowledge the chat, bro. You got to say hi to the chat.
I know. I haven't had him on in a while, but he doesn't hit me up. All he has to do is ask. That's all anybody has to do. You could ask for an interview. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do is ask. I'm busy, everybody.
And I did.
I'm not busy, guys. I'm just occupied and I'm handling so many different things that, like, I put it up every like 3 weeks, and I'm like, hey, if you need an interview, just ask me, because I don't know when your campaign is. I'm sorry that I don't know when somebody's campaign is. I don't know.
There's no way to keep track. Look, man, I know so many people, and they're all like, dude, you didn't know when my campaign? Dude, I didn't know your campaign began. I'm out here. Dude, do you know that Carissa, do you know how I met Carissa?
Carissa Grant?
Yeah. She had like 2 days left on book 1 on her first campaign. She had like 2 days, and it got dropped in my lap. And I'm like, 2 days left. What am I supposed to do with this? You know?
Problem. Just, and then I'll let you go. But like, this is outside.
Lady, she's been killing it, bro. She's signed up for book 7. I ain't known her but 9 months.
No.
She's doing it.
This is what people kill me with all this stuff is that you have to hit me up early and you have to hit me up within your first 2 weeks of your campaign because I can't help you if you have 2 days left
That's
and
what
for
I was saying. I was like,
because
what I
the
did.
problem is I can give you an interview if you got 2 days left.
You know what we did for her that first campaign with 2 days left? We threw a closeout party for her, dude. And then we was there for her on every campaign since. But you know what I mean? It was like I did what I could with 2 days left because
The
that's what I
problem
do.
The problem with me is that I usually want a week. This way I could put it into 60 Facebook groups and at least we get something going. I could put it out on YouTube. I could tweet it out. I could put it out on Instagram. If you give me 96 hours, I really don't have
That's,
much options on my table.
that's what I mean. The best I can do now is go out live and tell people that this campaign's almost over and y'all need to go back it. And blah. That's all I can do with no time left is to drag you out live and do a closeout party, right? That's no options with 2 days left.
I'm not the closeout party guy. That's not what I do. I'm an interview. I am week 2 and 3, guys. Is where I like to sit nicely.
I love the launches and the closeouts, dude. I love them.
That's all you. That's all you. As the executive producer of the Roku channel, that's your show right there.
See, that's one of the things I want people to understand too. When it comes to launches, closeouts, stuff like that, I'm still going to do that live on YouTube in front of all the platforms. Okay, that's not going to be something that's hiding over there on Roku. It's going to be on everything. Okay, the launches and the countdowns, what I do with those, you guys know I broadcast to as many places as I possibly can. That's not going to change. How I do certain shows is not going to change. Okay, but I want our own platform. Eventually, we're not going to need them. They're going to need us. That's the way I look at it. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we covered a lot. Hopefully, I covered enough. Obviously, I'm going to be sharing this out into every group except the Madness because I want other groups. Because no, hear me out on this. And it's not this. The Madness is a very hot, warm audience. That's not the group that this interview should be shared out in because every other group is a cold or warm audience.
That's why I'm on this show, man. I'm trying to get outside the Madness box. I'm going on a.
There's a reason why I'm not sharing it in the Madness. I might share an interview I did before you into the Madness because that's a different thing. But Steve Streetman is just a great guy. But anyway, I do want
that. I was watching you with Steve. I'd like to get him on network for an interview on our network too.
I'll put in a good word. I'll put in a good word for you. I'm happy to put in a good word because he's just a great guy and he's absolutely fascinating. I think you and him would kill it, and I think Lori would kill it with him. I really do. He's
also,
great.
I was gonna say I'm intrigued by the porn star interviews, but
I won't be bringing them.
I can only do those in private.
I was gonna say this is what I was going with. Is that I probably won't be bringing that to the Roku network. This is why I'm a unique individual. Is that if I'm bringing something to the Roku network, I'm going to treat it a little bit differently than I'm going to treat, I don't.
Hey, if it's relevant, no. If it's a porn star doing a comic book, bring her up. You see what if it's relevant to our our general thing, you know what I mean? Then I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say that's a whole nother set of fan base that you might bring to us that didn't know we existed.
I'll put it a different way. Santine Phoenix is a former porn star and dancer, and she did a comic book. That is different than doing a straight out porn star. Yeah. That because my show is not all comics; it's pop culture. Yeah. So if there's a wrestler doing a comic book, that's different. So if the Bushwhackers were doing a comic book of their biography, or there was a wrestling comic book, with a wrestler as the co-writer, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just,
I want a wrestling show. I want somebody to do a wrestling show on our network. I want somebody to do a review show on our network. I want those other parts of pop culture to be represented, because it is for pop culture and all the things we love, hobbies, movies, whatever, all the things we love, the things that make us smile, the things that make us happy. I know, guys, porn does that. But we're not gonna have porn on the network, okay? Okay.
We're not. I promise you, and you can quote me later on this, and we are live, that I will not be bringing a porn star if it's not relevant to the network. I understand the lines, okay? People might not necessarily like my style or how I do an interview. That's all fine and dandy, but I understand where the lines are drawn. But I know you got the show to do at 11 o'clock, and I do want to give you some time to at least take a breather. So I am going to let you get out of here in 1 second, but I do want to give you a chance for you to self-promote. So where could people find you? Where could people check out the Madness? Where could people check out the campaign? I know I put the link in the description down below, but reminding people is always helpful, as well as anything else that's going on the next week or two, because obviously going beyond even the campaign, you do a bunch of stuff outside of that.
It's crazy. First, let me say comicbooksforkids.org. Okay. I'm just going to say it. Y'all can go check it out. You'll understand what they do. It's a great organization. Okay. That's y'all. As far as me, look, I'm in the comic related madness. I'm there all day. I talk to everybody who posts in there. I promote, I do all that. I'm on Twitter all day, promoting, resharing, retweeting, whatever they call it now, X. Re-Xing. I don't even know what we're supposed to call it now, man. It's freaking stupid. But I promote. That's what I do, guys. If you have a campaign, you have something you want to me to help you get seen, just put it where I can see it. Put it on my Twitter. Put it on in my Facebook group where I can see it, and I will do my thing. I will share it out. And if you want to be on any of the many shows on the network, if you have something you want to promote, you hit us up. We'll put you on the show that best fits what you do. If you're just an artist and just want to come hang out on the drawstrings, we got 3 or 4 of those that run on the network now, different people that host those. Man, we got everything now, guys. We got video games. We got tabletop games. We got roll 20 games that we're doing live. We got the interview shows and the talk shows and the fun and the topic comic shows like what Silverline does. They always have a decent topic and they're always talking about certain things in comics. We got all these shows. We just need a place of our own to put it all. And that's what I'm trying to do. So check out that Roku platform. If you go to Kickstarter and type in Roku, it's the first thing that's going to come up. You don't even have to try to find the Kickstarter campaign. Just go to Kickstarter, hit search, type Roku. It's the first campaign that pops up. It's the only one on there about Roku that matters. The rest of them all done. Didn't fund, didn't do nothing because they were trying to do one show or one movie. We're building a network, guys, something for everyone. So get involved, man. I promise we won't let you down. If you help us build this thing, we will not let you down. That's all.
And then I'm just going to quickly promote myself, obviously, and I keep saying you got to support indie, you got to support indie projects. Obviously, this is a very cool project. I will be supporting this one. So I will definitely at least start with the 25, and at least I'll give you $25 and we'll work from there. I have a few ideas, but we're going to keep those close to the vest. But I will run them by you first. I promise.
Like you said, when it comes to your show, that's up to you. What you want to do and how you want to do it. If it's technical, then
your blessing.
Talk to Max, and we'll make it happen.
I just want your blessing, and that's all. But all jokes aside, obviously you need to support projects and things that are out there. $5 goes a long way, or $25, or if you have something that you want to promote, you could buy an ad, and that also goes a long way. And also I'm under the pretense that if somebody buys something for 3 months and it's working, that I don't think you're going to have a problem moving forward to continue for 3 months, 6 months, and all that stuff, because that's just because some people would say, hey, look, I'll give it 90 days and let's see if this works and we'll work from there. Because that's how I work sometimes, is that I don't, especially with ads, it's complicated, or something might need to be tweaked with an ad. But I digress. But about me and what I do, I am Pop Anime Comics on X/Twitter. Instagram is Pop Anime Comics. Facebook is Pop Anime Comics. YouTube is Pop Anime Comics. My eBay store is Pop Anime Comics Collectibles. So if you're looking for really cool books and a lot of bagel art and things of that nature, and books that are hard to find, I got you covered. I just sold out of some really cool books done by Shikari.
You just do a show about what you got on eBay.
Maybe that.
Why don't you just do a show highlighting what you have for sale on eBay?
And what to buy for the week. There we go.
No, you don't be giving up your secrets. You just go buy it, okay, and then you sell it next week. It's a thought, man. Hey, look, it's a thought. A show that highlights what you sell, Mr. eBay guy. There's nothing wrong with that. Do it. I mean, I gotta go though. I got a show.
I know. So anyway, that's everything that we got, everybody, and that I think is a wrap. So everybody,